So I just made this level about 2 or 3 minutes ago, and I haven't changed anything except the song, which is this generic song here. I've changed nothing at all. So what you want to do first off is you want to obviously get the stuff you want, so the background and everything, and I'll see you after I've done all of that. So as you can see, I have actually changed a few things, such as the background. I've changed the color here. I've copied the background for the ground, and I've changed the ground color. Changed the background to this faded thing. I've changed the ground to this cool Shah's effect, and I've changed the line number to 2. So now I'm going to make a small layout, and then we'll get straight into the block design. So as you can see here, we now have a very simple layout. This is everything there is in the layout. There are only 13 objects. So in terms of decoration, we aren't going to move into decoration just yet. This is block design. So if you want decoration, see one of my future tutorials. So for block design, it's mainly what you put inside these frameworks that I've made here, or how you decorate the frameworks. So first off, a cool thing you can do is you can thicken the blocks to make it look a lot cooler, like this. But we're here to make a level, so we've still got to add some more stuff. So I'm gonna finish off making this cool effect on all of the blocks, and I'll see you when I've done that. So now, as you can see here, I've got some very basic block design here, but it's not really enough to finish the level. So I'm going to lay out an example of the blocks you might use in block design. So if you're a beginner creator, what would usually look quite cool is if you use these kinds of blocks, like up here. These kinds of blocks usually give off an amazing style, and aren't really too hard to use, so they're very good. If you're more of a experienced creator and made a level before, you can move on to these kinds of blocks that work by placing 4 blocks in a cube shape, which I've worked out. Such as, so if I go and get, for instance, these kinds of blocks, these work the same as these and these. What I would do if I wanted to create something that looked good is I'd get the first block here, I'd place it here, I'd get the second block, I'd place it here, third here, and fourth here. Now what you can do is, this works for all of the 2.1 blocks, you can just copy and paste it, and it will make a cool effect.
So now that you know how to make basic block design, we're going to apply it to our small layout here. I will record myself doing this, but I'm only going to do beginner block design in this episode. So remember the beginner block design. I will be using this block design and this block design in this video. So, first off, we have to go to that section of the block design, which is here. So, to use these blocks, you have to place them in a pattern like this. And to use these blocks, you don't need to use them in a pattern at all, really. It's just at the end of the rows, you might want to use these blocks because that looks cool. So I'm going to use a new layer for these blocks because otherwise you can easily press the layout instead of the block design. So I'm going to, for sake of speed, I'm going to copy and paste all of these. And so, as you can see here, we've now filled in all of the boxes in our layout, but this doesn't mean that it's finished, far from it. So with these blocks, we have to give them a new color. It can't be a default color, otherwise it would look really bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to change them to color 1, so it's going to be our first color. So now change their color, they look like this. Now that isn't bad in any way, but I prefer most of my block designs to have blending on them, and it makes them look a bit more see-through like that. So you may be thinking, this looks good already, but it won't get you a feature, unfortunately, just this. If you want a feature, stay till the end, and I'll help you out. No one gets features, but okay. So, this step is optional, I like to do it, but what you can do is you can make a little effect on the outside of the block design like this, and it looks really cool, like it's fading out almost. So I like to use this in a lot of my levels. If you want, you can speed ahead for this part. It's a bit boring. I think I placed a couple too many here. Actually, no, I don't think so, actually. And we can do the same for here, even though it's already quite dark in this block design. So now we've mostly decorated all of the blocks inside here. But it still looks a little bit bland. This step is totally optional. It really depends if you want a high detail level for desktop players or a low detail level for mobile players like many of you. But what you can do is you can go into this rope section and you can add things like, for example, you could add... what could you add to the blocks? Yeah, you could add these to go across the block design. Like this. And that makes it look a little bit more intricate. I like to do this occasionally, but I don't do it too much anymore, this kind of design. Or what you can do is you can use these things. These things look pretty cool, like little effects at the top of the block design. Now you can even put them under or over the shading that's on there. And then you end up with this cool effect. Like this, kind of. That looks pretty cool. I like to do this effect quite a lot at the top of all of the block designs, because it easily makes it look really cool with not many objects. So you may be thinking, this looks quite good, but how are we going to get it to look even better? Well, what we have to do is we have to add some more blocks. So I think we're going to, with the new features in 2.1, you can change the color of almost any object. So I'm going to use this block and going to change it to color 3 because it's white. So what you can do is we can copy and paste this across all the floor to give it a place to die if you fall. So if I die here, then I'll die. I won't just continue rolling along the floor. So that's brilliant. We now have some spikes at the bottom to catch us if we die. So, this looks pretty good so far. Why don't we test the level? Okay, so as you can see, it's not bad, but it's not great either. It looks better in the editor when you're making it. So, what I've seen from that is that I should take all of this, and I should put it in don't fade. So what that'll do is it'll make it so that it doesn't fade out at the end when it comes in and out of the screen. Also, what I've learnt is that the background needs to be a bit darker, like that. Now that looks much better. So we've got a very basic block design, and a bit of and a few spikes at the bottom to catch us if we fall. But we are definitely not done yet. So we've got to add decoration to the spikes and the orb here, as you can see, and we might even add a little bit more decoration to the blocks. I'll show you in a second. So we've got to find a good thing to put around this orb, otherwise it'll be all by itself without a friend. So I think what we're going to do is this looks pretty cool if we put this chainsaw type thing above the orb and make it look black. That makes it look a lot cooler. Now, what I like to do sometimes, not all the time, is you can make a laser come out of the floor and come into the orb almost. It makes it look quite cool. So at the moment I'm just making the laser. Okay, just thinking, does this need to go in a little bit? I think so. So there we go. It doesn't need to be a bit longer. I think so. The laser needs to be a little bit longer. Okay. So I'll put the laser into it like that. So that looks pretty cool. Now it looks like the orb is coming out of the ground. So let's test it. so the level looks very good, but you may have noticed that there's nothing at all in the air apart from this, which I used in the example. So what we can do to fix this is either we can create additional block designs in the ceiling, or we can make some air decoration. I like to make block designs on the ceiling, but for sake of simplicity, we'll just do some air decoration for now, so that it isn't too complicated. So a good air decoration, in my opinion, are these blocks. What we can do is we can set the base to 3 and the detail to 2. That's what I like doing quite a lot of the time. And then we'll do the same, but with a smaller chainsaw. And then we'll get this cool monochrome effect. Now, if we start and play, we'll see that they're spinning quite quickly, that they're in the way, so now we know that we need to put them back a little bit. I don't really like them when they're spinning too quickly, so what I'm going to do is you can press Edit Special, Custom, and you can switch degrees. I'm going to use 50 degrees per second, so that's going to spin quite slowly now, like that. So that looks quite cool. I'm just going to copy and paste this to save time over to this side. And so this looks almost ready. It just needs a few extra things. So what I like to do quite a lot is I like to make this sort of glowing effect from where you're standing onto the platform. Like this. So it looks like the platform is glowing now. So we can do this at the start of the level as well to make it look good. Like we'll do this, and then we'll put one of these behind the start line. So we'll just select the auto don't fade. So this looks pretty good already, but the thing is, it's not ready even now. It's only 3 seconds long, but we're not going to make a full level out of it because 1, that takes loads of time, and 2, it's too difficult for me to do in one episode. So I think now a good thing to do is to use these clouds to make some air decoration to fill in the extra space, like that. And just as an extra thing, so we're very almost done now with this part of the level. It doesn't have many objects, but that's fine. It can be a simple level. What we can do is we can pulse the background when the drop starts. So like here. So I'll pulse it to this colour, and the fade out will take half a second. So have a look at this. Have a look. Oh, it says pulse 0. Alright, that's why it didn't work then. Okay, we'll try again. So this level is nearing completion, even though it's only 3 seconds long. The decoration is nearing completion. So what I want to do for the last thing is show you how to use triggers effectively. First thing you have to do is you obviously have to put it into a group. Then what you can do is I'm going to use a move command. So I want it so that when you touch the platform will sink because of your weight. So that can be -3. So it'll sink a third of a block, not 3/10 of a block, over 3/10 of a second. You see what that looks like? It looks a little bit unnatural, so I'll try moving this forwards a little bit. It's a lot more natural and a lot better. So now we have a fully decorated yet simple 3 seconds of level right here. And that is basically how you decorate. Be sure to give this video a like and consider subscribing for more. Thank you for watching.